We are in.
All right.
What are you doing?
I'm doing this because you always say, all right. So
you do too. You say, okay, guys. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, etc.
Etc. Etc.
We're in the Panama-Inspired room. Again, the Panama-Inspired room. Again, we say my Mr. Burns hands Alex plays next 100. Okay, we're in the Panama-Inspired room. Again, we use Panama as just kind of a way to understand what rooms we're talking about. The inspiration comes from all of South America and Central America. But I want to show you, Joe just started doing the tiling for the bathroom. So come in here, follow me. Sorry that there's not a lot of light. It's very dark, but still, I think you can see okay. So right now, we have this beautiful, deep green Zelig clay subway tile. It's not quite a subway tile. It's a little bit longer than a subway tile, which I was a little bit nervous about for doing this kind of chevron herringbone pattern, but it actually came out really beautiful. I think it's perfectly balanced in this room. I could not be happier with how it turned out. And if you look at it a little bit closer, it is a clay tile. So you see a lot of texture and a lot of different, I guess texture would be the only word I can say for it. Now, the walls in this room are not even. So our tiler, Joe, was saying that this is not tiled right now because we're going to put a border in here. Because otherwise, if it came straight to it, it would look really uneven and not so good. So this is an example of what a border would be. Still trying to figure out if I'm going to do the same color tile or maybe something a little different. Because if you follow me on this side, this subway tile or this Zelig tile will go to about here. And then I'm going to have my bathtub here with my shower. And I'm going to do an old school like curtain bathtub. But this will be some kind of accent tile of some sort. I'm thinking maybe a very pale pink or a muted pink or like a dusty rose. And then I might use whatever that color is to fill in these borders just to break it up a little bit so it's not so overwhelming with this like intense green everywhere. And we're also doing free force. So this is the line that the tile will go up to. And then I have this little brass border that will be up here like so, and then on the top of this it'll be painted probably a really nice natural like light color so it's not too overwhelming with all the colors in the room. But yeah, I'm really excited about how it's turning out, and I still have a lot of planning to do, but we're getting there.
In the bathroom, we decided, because it's inspired by South America, but it's also kind of going colonial a little bit, right? We decided it would be really cool to actually have wooden floors in. And so we got 2 samples of floors made. They're burned. This is why they're 2 different colors. And so the one is very dark. And I think we're actually leaning towards this one at the moment and see how it works with it.
I think the darker definitely works better, in my opinion, but maybe you guys think otherwise.
I know what people say, like, wooden floors in a bathroom. How on earth are you going to do this? Well, we're most likely going to epoxy them.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be treated so hard
to make sure that it actually works. But also, we've been actually traveling around and looking at a lot of old places just before we found this one. And there were quite a number of bathrooms that just had wooden floors because they were put in like 100 years ago, and nobody really cared at the time. It's just about the right wood and treating it right.
Well, it's mostly treating it. I think they almost put like an epoxy resin over it. It's definitely got a high gloss, high sheen when it's on there, but that's kind of what I want. I think it'll look really nice. I want it to look
it's also small enough space that it works, right?
Yeah, if it was a huge bathroom, maybe I wouldn't do that, but the bathroom's small enough, and you're going to have such a big bathtub, and you're going to have your other kind of floating shelf here that the floor is going to be...
The bathtub is funny because the bathtub is the oldest bathtub in the house and the first bathtub that ever was in the house as well. So it's really old.
It's really old and really big.
It will be big enough to swim in. Well, but it's also very high. So we have to figure out what we're going to do.
That's what I was going to say. We'll show you the bathtub, but like you're going to have to like step up over it to get in the shower. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. We might have to make like a little step or something, but it's a really cool bathtub. But I think that we're,
leaning towards the darker
one. I think the darker one.
It still will be painted, so this is not the final product. This is
burned. This is actually burned.
Just burned, exactly.
Yeah, and then it's got a light stain on it. So we'll see. What do you guys think? Okay, so this is the bathtub we were talking about for the Panama-Inspired bathroom. It was the oldest bathtub, originally came with Killoskehane when we bought it. It's a huge bathtub, and I'm really nervous because I'm going to have people stepping into it. This is going to be those old school shower bath bathtubs. And I mean, when I say that, I mean that it's going to have a curtain rod with like a hanging curtain.
Like it, but it just
has to be the way it is. But it's very, very high. So I'm really nervous. We might have to build a step because even I can't. I think it's okay, but still, I think it might be a little bit difficult for some people. So I'm trying to decide if I should build like a little step up into it or if it'll even work, to be honest.